Hi, Teacher Rachel, back with episode 2 of How to Use Chinese to Teach English Without Using Chinese. And as promised, we are actually going to talk about Chinese and how to use it. And we'll start with the tones. Tones in Chinese are extremely important because it is a tonal language. The tone they use determines the meaning of the word. And the closest comparison in English is using desert, short E, desert. We think of cactus, a lot of sand, hot. And if we change that to a long E, it becomes desert, meaning to abandon. We complicate it a little more with this one with the two S's and the nice sweet things that we like to eat. But in this case, when you hear desert, we immediately think one thing, and we hear, oh, desert, I will desert the army. Our mental image changes just by the tone of the E. And so we use tones, but we don't call them tones. So let's look at a sample of Chinese. And this is often used, the word ma is often used. So you have ma, 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 ma. So technically you could have a mother scolding a horse eating hemp and say ma, 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 and use all of these very easily. There's also a fifth one with no tone that's used kind of as almost like a question mark. Now, I don't know about you, but if I had called my mother a horse, I would have been immediately corrected, probably with a wooden spoon. So, note, this is a plastic spoon because wooden spoons are still not allowed in my house. So, tones are important. Let's look at these tones. So here we have the 4 tones. Knowing first, second, third, fourth is not important. It's irrelevant to what we're doing. Just knowing across, down, up, and rounded. That's important. And you will become a conductor. When I was taking Chinese in college, my professor was a really cool cat. He was a Catholic priest, so we called him Father Wong. And he would stand in front of the class, listening. And then he'd do this, or he'd do this. And then we knew to change our tone. I thought it was a quirk of him, and then when I went to China and my professor at the university in China would do the same thing. Do these tones when we said something wrong. And so I sprayed a little WD-40 in my ears, got the rust out of there, and I started using these to correct students in English. So this is where I mostly use them. I use them to teach vowels. Some people prefer to sing it. My singing is child abuse. It doesn't happen. So I do it like this. A short A is ah and ah, and especially in this all, it's flat. And apple, flat. Short E down, L, short I, ill, short U, So this is really helpful, especially between that short E and short I, where they're really not hearing a difference, and especially in their language where they make it a long E sound. So using this, you can use your spoon as a conductor. I find my fingers very helpful because I always have it attached to me. I use this a lot in correcting kids, and they get it. They understand it because this is how they are corrected. So another way I use this that I found to be helpful is removing that extra on the end of words. Having them go up, that short up, and do it fast. And you can do your head, you can do your whole body. And you watch the kids, and they'll do it with their heads, they'll do it with their bodies, they'll go up. But you'll be amazed at how easy this becomes with the short vowels. And if you're doing word strings with them, bed, wed, med, and then bid, wid, lid, whatever you make up, that it works really well. So using the tones to teach English without using Chinese has been extremely helpful, and I think that you'll find it's a great tip and very handy. All right, till next time. Bye-bye.